if I were to, now I've been at this for 5 years. I've been at this for 5 years now. And if I were to describe, for me, the singularly most important setup is this. It's this one. Okay, this is the one that I need to describe right here. Now it failed the first time. Okay, it failed the first time here. Right here. If I look at this, I wanna put into. I realized that I made about 1,800 videos, YouTube videos, and most people don't look at it at all. Most people don't look at it. But if I were to, um, if I were to inform people, if I were to inform people, I would say that this is probably the single most important setup. Okay, this is probably the single most important setup that I need to describe. Okay, so here's, I want to go into a little detail. What I want to do, what I want to do is, analyze this in in incredible detail so that I can repeat this over and over again. Okay. So if I look, okay. So what are the areas? What are the areas that are important? Okay. So that's the area that's important right there. Okay. That's the area that's important. Now, what other areas are important? Okay, so what other areas are most important? What other areas are important? What is that? Okay, well, let's delete that one. We'll just use an circle. So I'd say right here. Okay. Right there. Okay, so that would be the entry point. Okay, that's the important part. And getting out could be here. So I want to analyze this in detail. So essentially, this area right here essentially is resistance from this perspective, right? So when I look at this, I look at that right there. That's where the entry is, and if I needed to, I could have held it through the pullback, expecting that there is a possibility of a pullback. It is possible. There is a possibility there's a pullback. So what's important? Okay, what's important? I suppose if I'm one of those pullback traders, I could be looking at this to enter into it, writing in here. That would be another entry. That would be considered a pullback trade, right? That would be a pullback. If it's going down, then I'm looking for this and take that trade. But what is important, what is important I need to analyze is this. So when I'm looking at it, now I'm not seeing this. I'm obviously not seeing these things here. But the reason, let me just state how important this is, okay? This thing happens a lot of times. That's why it's so important. It happens here, it happened 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 here, it happened, happen, happen, happen. Happen, happen, happen. Happen, 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 happen. Happen, right? Happen, 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 happen. I mean, all these are happen, okay? So I'm going back to here now, okay? So this is I could trade this. This is a single trade. This is a very, very simple trade. This is a very, very simple trade. What I have to do is, however, to distinguish between this and this. So there has to be something. There has to be something that tells me that this is different than this. Hindsight is 20/20, right? After all the candles have been painted from here to here, I can see that this is the reversal side. But when the candle is when the candle only prints to here, this looks like a pullback. Okay, it could be, it could possibly, because it did here, right? It did it here. So what is the difference, right? That turns out to be a reversal, but that didn't turn out to be a reversal. Now it came here at the second level of support, a deeper support, and then this is support here, and that's support. So this turned out to be a support. It could easily have been a pullback, right? Just like this pullback, drops, pullback. All right. So I need to distinguish. I need to distinguish between this and this. Okay. What are the factors that are shaping it so that this is different than this thing right there, right? Currently it's 30 degrees outside. It's, whoa, really warm outside. That's warm. It was 22 degrees a couple days ago. So essentially, essentially, that's what it is. For me, my trading. See, my brain is very simple, and I like trading it very simple. And this is a very simple means for me to, maybe it's the carbon monoxide that's been like, maybe the carbon monoxide caused me to do that. Well, once I get paid 100K, and yeah, once I get paid, once I get funded with 100K, maybe I can move my office or something. I don't know. The payouts will be tremendously big, right? Yeah. Anyway, so okay. I look here, it's going down. That's a pullback. Then it comes back. So I could have easily gotten in here, thinking that I could have easily gotten in here, and I would have missed it. I was failed there. That would have been a loss, right? That would have been a loss. Had I done it right, I would have put a stop loss here, went up. Sure, it's close to here, so the loss would be small, but there is that $5 commission for one lot. Goes up and then drops. It triggers that. It initiates the stop loss, drops, then it comes here and bounces from the low here, and then pops back up, and then it triggers a green candle, signaling that there's a reversal from this candle. So if I put, if I buy it here, knowing that this is knowing, it's not a sure thing. It's a probability. It could be a pullback, but knowing that there is a high probability that this is a reversal, I could get in here and expect to make a sale here, right? That's the idea. So this is the trade that I can do every moment, every day. It works on. I mean, if I look at, this is a NASDAQ. See, there's one here too. Look here. That's a reversal. That's a reversal. That's a reversal. That's a reversal. reversal, reversal, or you could say that's the pullback, right? But within this time frame, that's a reversal right there to right there. See that? Even these things have a pullback. See, that is a pullback. Okay, that wick right there is saying it went up and it came back down. That's what it means. That wick is a pullback. Or if I look at tighter, it's a reversal within a very tighter time period. So I didn't realize this, but it works. It happens all the time. Okay, it works. This is it. It's called I call it the soft support trade. I call it a soft support trade because essentially this is support that only happens like twice here. So I call that a soft. But when it has an extended support, just like you see here, right? So if I look at UC, so if I oh tired. So if I look okay, so if I look here, that's an extended amount. That's an extended amount. That's an extended amount of area here. So that's 1223.11. That's 1230.11. So that's about 7 days of support there. That's a strong support. That's a very, very strong support, right? This thing has dropped. Drop, 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 drop. So that's about 7 days. That's about 7 days. Okay. But it just drop, 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 drop. So that's the current situation. That's right there. Okay, so I wasn't able to see this. I was not able to see this. The exact one. I wasn't able to see it. I didn't see it 5 years ago. For the past 5 years, I wasn't able to see this particular setup. Now I see it. Now I see that is right there. That's the reason why. That's a reversal. That's a pullback that I could have easily lost, but I need to distinguish between this and this. I have to be able to distinguish between this and this somehow. That's where the tricky part is. Okay. When I think that this is a reversal and it goes up and drops, the thesis is wrong. That's wrong. That's right. That's wrong. That's right. What's the difference? Nothing much. So that's where the distinction is. I have to figure that out. What is going to help me distinguish between a pullback and a reversal, right? That's where a lot of money sits at. Okay, that's where, because if I know what this is, I can make a lot of money on it. Okay, if I know what this is, it's like saying, hey, it's gonna happen. Yeah,